Hello everybody! We are live! This is Fluent for Real. I am Renata or Renata. Okay, so MC is joining us for tonight's live. Hey MC! Aww.
It's close to Valentine's, so that's my mood today.
So guys, we're gonna get started today. We are going to talk about the pronunciation of Edy, a very, very hard sound for most Brazilians to pronounce. It's really tricky because it's either you have to say it or you cannot say it. You cannot pronounce it, so it's really tricky. We're going to go through the 3 sounds that are made out of the letters ED. Wouldn't it be easier, MC, if the ED just sounded like an ED?
I know, that's my struggle. So that's the thing. Why do we have to remember that this is a silent E or something like that? This is not fair. This is just English not being English.
Exactly. English, complicating our lives when it could just make our lives easier, but it just won't. Let's recap a little bit. I want to remind everyone of what we talked about last week, which was the sound of M and N. So if you joined us for the live, I want to ask you to remember what you practice and try to work on the exercises that we have tonight. And don't forget your M's and your N's too. So learning is something that we pile up. We can't just compartmentalize the learning and just forget about one thing today and use it tomorrow. Let's try to sum. Let's try to add everything that we learned. That live is available on all our platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, podcast, on Spotify, on Castbox, and now Twitter too. And if you miss our live now on Wednesdays at 9 p.m., you can watch it the next day on all those platforms. And guys, we would like to invite you to use this moment to act on your skills. You guys need to, we would like to invite you to actually act and speak and practice. Only listening to what I say, to my explanations, will give you a lot of input, but it's not going to actually work on your abilities to speak and to pronounce. And pronunciation is something very mechanical. You need to really organize things, between your tongue, your lips, your teeth, and your brain. So use this moment to practice. Okie doke, can we get started, MC?
We sure can.
Okay, so we're going to start, guys. This sound of T. ED actually sounding like T. The T sound with the ED is actually a sound that is made from infinitive or present that ends in a sound that has no vibration. Remember how last week, MC, we mentioned the N as a letter that is produced right behind our teeth. The T is pronounced in the same place, but it's a sound that doesn't have any vibration. So when I say, for example, t, right? I say t, teacher, t, t. This has no vibration. So for us to remember when we pronounce the T, let's associate no vibration with no vibration. It's easier for our brain to connect the sounds like that. So sounds like the P, the F, sh, ch. All these sounds are made only with the air coming out of our mouth. So we have the K or the K. For example, cook. The last sound of the infinitive or the present is k. So I want to invite everyone now to put your hands right here on your throat and pronounce the infinitive first. So I say cook.
Cook.
Dance.
Dance.
Help.
Help.
So these sounds, the K, the S, and the P, they don't vibrate here. So
yeah,
I say
I know.
cook.
Yeah. Cook.
Did you notice? Dance.
Yeah. Dance.
Help.
Help.
Laugh.
Laugh.
Punish.
Punish.
Watch.
Watch.
So when I talk about the past, when I use these verbs in the past, I go from the consonant to the T, straight. I don't say the E, I don't mention it. So I'm going to say cooked.
Cooked.
Danced.
Danced.
Helped.
Helped.
Laughed.
Laughed.
Punished.
Punished.
Watched.
Watched.
Exactly. So it's there is no vowel in between. There is no vibration in between. So these verbs that have no vibration at the end in the infinitive, they will be followed by the T sound. I'm going to show you guys more. We're going to practice a couple of sentences too, okay? And the secret to correct pronunciation in this case, and a lot of cases, is that we don't know when to pronounce, and we kind of exaggerate when we're not supposed to, and we forget to pronounce the sounds that we have to. That's the tricky part about the ed. So I see a lot of people mispronouncing it like that, overpronouncing, saying, for example, work it, help it, punish it, when in fact the e is not mentioned. So I'm going to say punished, watched, 2 consonants in a row. Yes, I know it's hard. It's not easy, but that's the way it goes. So it's very subtle. And I know also trouble, like the difficulty that a lot of us have, that a lot of people have, is that we kind of try to sound more natural and we try to make the communication really flow by pronouncing everything, you know, as if we were trying to make ourselves understood. So if I say watched, and they don't realize that I'm talking about the past, maybe I won't be understood. But that's not how it goes. If you say, I watched the movie yesterday, what? That's when you're going to be misinterpreted, or there will be some kind of miscommunication. So be careful with that. The obstacle of mispronouncing or overpronouncing is something that I want us to fight here today. Very often with the T and the D, the sound is so subtle that it really is not heard. You say it, but you don't really say it. So we have to emphasize the syllable that comes right before that sound. So we make sure we don't say it in a wrong way. How? If I have a verb like work, for example, and I put it in the past, if I emphasize the last syllable, I will say it wrong. So I have to ignore the last syllable and really focus on work and forget about the K. So I say worked. Repeat after me. Worked.
Worked.
Oh, but can I hear the T very well? No, you can't. Can I hear the T? No, you can't. The K, the T, they are very subtle. But that's how it goes. That's how you really make it right.
And hey, can I share a story too? Because the ED sound, I received the feedback back in 2016, because one of the things I love to eat is pulled pork. But I used to say pulled pork. And because of that reason that you mentioned, I was afraid people wouldn't understand me. So by trying to make myself clear, I was confusing people. And then one person was able to come to me and say in a very subtle way and provide me feedback like, Maria, why do you say pulled? It's actually pulled. And native speakers, they don't even understand that we're trying to emphasize, or we're trying to read all the word with that extra letter. They don't get it. They don't see why you're making that mistake. So this is something to be aware of.
And also probably when you said pulled, they understood pull it.
Probably, yeah.
Pull it pork, you know, and they were like, what's that? Pull it. And so it's confusing. It's very confusing. And I want to give you an example of how much we don't need to worry about this overpronouncing to make sure we are talking about the past. In Portuguese, the simple verb, for example, if I say, nós merecemos o nosso salário, you don't know if I'm talking about the present or the past. Nós merecemos o nosso salário do ano passado, nós merecemos o nosso salário de hoje. It could be past or present. And we don't even worry about that. You don't care, because the context will make the situation clear. There is no problem there. You just don't need to worry about it. Another example here. Why won't you go out? I'm stressed tonight. You don't hear. There is no double T. I'm stressed tonight. No, I'm stressed tonight. The T from stressed and the T from tonight become one sound. And it's okay. I'm stressed tonight. I shopped for office supplies yesterday. I shopped for office supplies. I shopped for office supplies, or I shopped for office supplies. I shopped for office supplies yesterday. That's it. You don't need to worry about the sound. Let me show you a difference here. Something that they will notice if you don't say the T correctly. If I say I watched 2 films, there is a T right after the ED. So it says I watched 2 films. But if I say I watched the film, I watched the film, you hear the T. Because the T is followed by an A. I watched a film. So I watched a film. It's very clear for someone, for a native speaker, or someone who understands the language well. If you say, I watch a film, they will understand it's present.
Absolutely.
So it's subtle, but it has to be there, especially when there is a vowel. So since you're not going to choose when to pronounce it right, when to pronounce it wrong, you're always going to pronounce it right. There will be no confusion, I promise. Another example here. I shopped at the mall. I shopped at the mall. Repeat after me.
Wow, that was fast.
I shopped at the mall.
Was that right? Was that right? Okay, I shopped at the mall.
I watched the film.
I watched the film.
They cooked an entire meal alone.
They cooked an entire meal alone.
Yeah, so the T is very easy to see because there is a vowel right after. Now I want to challenge you, Maria. Challenge. Which sentence is in the present and why? Why do you know it's in the present? Number 1. He washed 2 cars. Number 2. He washes 2 cars.
Okay, so the first one is in the past. The second one is in the present.
How do you know that?
Because the second one, it was easy to see the he washes, like, and then the last one was like, okay, it's either he washes or he washed. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So see, one more example of why you don't have to worry about overpronouncing the ed. In the third person, for example, there is no confusion. He washes, she washes. How can you confuse she washes with she watches with she watched? It's very different. So third person, we don't have to worry. Interrogative, we don't have to worry. Did you watch? Negative, we don't have to worry. I didn't watch, he didn't watch. So this affirmative first person, you know, it's like, why are you worrying so much? When in fact, if you say the right way, if you pronounce it the right way, it will always be 100% clear. Next sound then, the D. D sound is the opposite from the T. You are not going to pronounce the E. You go consonant to consonant, consonant to consonant. However, the end of the word has a vibration. Put your hand back here. So the end of the word has a vibration, so you go to D, D. D sound is also a sound that has a vibration. So for example, the letter V, if I have a verb like live, put your hand and feel live.
Live.
Confirm.
Confirm.
Clean.
Clean.
Call.
Oh yeah, it's easy to see the vibration. Go ahead with the last one.
Easy. Now, just one contrast here. Now say wash.
Watched.
Wash, not wash.
Washed.
Like, just infinitive, to see the difference between vibration and no vibration. Wash.
Wash.
Call.
Call.
Can you see the difference?
Totally.
It's very clear.
Yeah.
So when these words, the verb has a vibration, you go to the D. Lived.
Lived.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Cleaned.
Cleaned.
Called.
Called.
Entered.
Entered.
Changed.
Changed.
Cataloged.
Cataloged.
And others. Now, there are lists of sounds and letters. I can give you guys the list. I can show you exactly what letters are vibration or no vibration, but I think it's so much easier if you just test it on you. You know, you say the verb and you feel the vibration, because then you don't memorize letters. You know, why memorize letters if you can just understand the logic? When you get the logic, you automatically start using it. Of course, you need to practice. You need to practice a lot and do these exercises yourself and correct yourself in real life too. But I prefer understanding than memorizing. Okay, another one here with the D sound. Advised.
Advised.
Massaged.
Massaged.
Grabbed.
Grabbed.
Belonged.
Belonged.
Studied.
Studied.
This is a hard one, because study and all the words that end in Y, we have a tendency not to say the Y the right way. So we get one mistake with the Y and we add to the difficulty of the ED, and then we have a problem. So let's remember that the Y in English is pronounced. So I'm not going to say stud. I'm going to say study. So the past is also long. I'm going to say studied.
Oh, so it's a great tip. So study and studied.
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 It's like a long I. The Y remains the same. You just put a D. You're not going to say studied or studied. You're going to say studied.
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 But it follows the same logic like you said before. So the pronunciation, we're going to emphasize the syllable before.
Exactly.
Okay. So
okay.
It's still stud.
In this case, in this case, the syllable that yeah, exactly. You're gonna stress the same letter, the same syllable that you were study, but you're gonna include the D, very subtle D, and not the E. That's the secret. A lot of people say, I studied. I studied. No, I studied.
I studied.
Just a long I, ed. And that's it. There's no ed in the middle. So
okay.
I say, I studied.
I studied.
Tried.
Tried.
She studied hard.
She studied hard.
She emptied the folder.
She emptied the folder.
Exactly. Now some longer examples here. The present belonged to me.
The present belonged to me.
The client confirmed the order.
The client confirmed the order.
None of us called back.
None of us called back.
His dog outlived him.
His dog outlived him. I wasn't expecting that. Sorry.
I know.
Great choice.
I knew I would crack you with this one. Okay, another one. Clients emptied the shelves.
Clients emptied the shelves.
Perfect. Another challenge. Which one is present? Which one is past? The car belonged to me. The car belongs to me.
Okay, the S sound again, giving it away. So it's
but this
easy
one,
because of that.
Okay, but this one was more subtle because it belongs, not like washes, which is a more out there sound, right? That's it. So one more time, the third person giving it away. The car belonged to me. The car belongs to me. The S in the present has to be clear. The ED in the past, no. It's very subtle.
Important, right? No matter how fast the person speaks, it's always going to be pretty much like that. I mean, you can hear the S sound regardless.
Exactly, exactly. Okay. All right. The last sound is the ID sound or the id sound. That's the one that is completely opposite from the others. It's a complete opposite because that's the one we have to pronounce the vowel. With the D and the T, we go consonant, 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 or long vowel consonant, no E. And here we do have to. And that's where I see a lot of people also messing up, confusing, mixing things up. So you need to pronounce it clearly. When, think about it. If one sound is T, the other one is D, what if the verb ends in T or D? What would happen? That can work.
You know what? I do that sometimes. Trying to make sure people are going to understand me. We overpronounce what we don't need to pronounce.
Exactly. So now time to change that. Exactly. So I can't say I count. That's not going to work. So I have to include a vowel. I counted.
I counted.
Verbs like needed.
Needed.
Okay, let's go to the infinitive. Need.
Need.
Paint.
Paint.
Visit.
Visit.
Want.
Want.
For example,
want?
All of
like when, want.
Want.
One. A want. Okay.
Yeah. So these verbs and in D or T, the last letter is D or T. Another one that the last letter is E, but the sound is T. Anticipate.
Anticipate.
Also a T sound at the end. So if it has a T sound or a D sound at the very end of the word, we're gonna add a vowel and a D. For example, needed.
Needed.
Painted.
Painted.
If I say it fast, painted.
Painted.
Visited.
Visited.
If I say it fast, visited.
Visited.
Wanted.
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 Wanted. It feels
Counted.
like British and American. Come again with the last one.
Wanted.
Wanted.
Counted.
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 Voted.
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 Anticipated.
Anticipated.
Greeted.
Greeted.
Started.
Started.
Spotted.
Spotted.
Okay, now some sentences. Jennifer Aniston was spotted at the mall.
Oh, I wish I was there to see her. So Jennifer Aniston was spotted at the mall.
The meeting was anticipated.
The meeting was anticipated.
They greeted her.
They greeted her.
Some of us needed help.
Some of us needed help.
They painted the entire room.
They painted the entire room.
The business depended on that contract.
The business depended on that contract.
Yeah, so it's not depend on. Depended on. You have a very clear syllable right after all these verbs that I mentioned. Depended on. You cannot eat the sound.
And
so,
here I have a question.
Okay,
so do usually Brazilians make that mistake more often or less often? So that
very
one
often.
now, the T.
Very often. Very often I have come across students telling me, oh, I visit my family. And I'm like, when? You always do? I understand that they're trying to tell me about the past, you know, but I try to push them into realizing what's wrong. But that happens a lot.
Okay.
Okay, so don't eat the sound. For example, if I have it right after the word, they painted it, right? I would have to say they painted it, everything. They painted it, not they painted. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So two sounds that are pretty much the same. Painted it, but both of them have to be said. So they painted it.
They painted it.
They spotted an actress.
They spotted an actress.
They started it.
They started it.
Exactly. So started it. Both sounds have to be very clearly pronounced.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to give you the present infinitive. You will transform it to the past. And then you're going to tell me which sound it is. If it's T, D, or id. And of course, as usual, I am inviting everyone to do the same. So the verb is assess.
Assess. Past would be assessed. So it's the T sound.
Perfect. Assessed, T sound. Supervise.
Supervise. Past would be supervised. So is that still the T sound?
Supervise. Touch your throat again. Supervise. Supervise.
I had some help here. Supervised.
See the vibration? Supervise.
Yes. Supervise.
So, which sound is it?
Supervised. So it's the D.
The D. Perfect. Believe.
Believe. Past. Believed.
You guys can send it in the comments, okay? Which sound you think it is? Believe.
Yeah,
which
and
sound
you
is
can
it?
say
MC.
Der MC or whatever.
Believe.
Believe. Past. Believed.
Which sound?
It's the T.
Put your hand
The
here
D.
again.
The D. Okay.
Very
Yeah.
it's a very subtle
that.
D.
Yeah.
It's a very subtle D. It is. That's why you're like
And sometimes
tier
it's
D.
close to T. Yeah.
It is close.
Right.
Exactly. Easy one for you.
Okay.
Watch.
Watch. Now it's gonna be watched. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
which sound is it?
So then it's the T sound.
Perfect. Work.
Work is gonna be the worked. Worked. So it's not. Yeah. So it's the T sound again.
Okay. Greet.
Greet, like hey. Okay. Greeted. Right.
Which sound is it?
And it's the last one. You call like ed. What do you call it?
ID or id.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Pull.
Oh, my pulled pork. Okay, so it's gonna be pulled pork. D.
D. Perfect. Paint.
Thanks for the tip, because so paint. It's gonna be paint. So it's the T.
Again. What's the last
Paint.
letter?
Paint.
The last letter is T.
Yeah.
So what do I have to do when the last letter is T or D?
Oh, it's D, right? Paint.
I have to include another syllable.
Painted.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. See, I'm making that mistake. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Perfect.
Painted.
Painted. So it's not paint.
No. Painted.
Painted.
One more. Anticipate.
Anticipate. Anticipated. The same one. So you have to add the vowel.
Okay, that's it. Push.
Push. Pushed. And then it's not the, you don't pronounce the E, and it's pushed. D.
Which one?
D.
Push. Push.
No, so I'm not getting puts. Can you explain it again, the D and the T?
Say, if you put your hand here, you'll get it. Push.
Here.
Push. Say push.
Push.
So what comes after that? The T or the D? Push.
Push. Pushed. T.
A T. That's it. All right. So the rule applies not only to verbs, but also to adjectives ending in ed. Emotions like exhausted, stressed, confused. All of these adjectives are also follow the same rule. There are some exceptions, though, of course, right?
Always.
We love the exceptions. Okay. There are some exceptions. I'm just going to mention them to you. But the rule is basically what I told you guys. For example, wicked. There is that Broadway show, very famous one called Wicked, like The Wizard of Oz, and there's a witch, etc. So it's not, it was supposed to be wicked. It's not, it's wicked. Another adjective, crooked. When something is not in the right position, right, like a picture on the wall, if the picture is like this, you say it's crooked. Another one.
Isn't it cricket? Cricket?
No, crooked.
Oh, so see, I've always said it wrong, but it's okay.
Another one, naked. Naked is not pronounced the way it was supposed to be, according to the rule. Another one here, ragged. Very old clothes, you know, very worn out, like Cinderella wears ragged clothes. And another one, learned. Learned is a person that is very well read, a person who reads a lot, who has a lot of education, is a learned person. So these are some exceptions, but you can consider that for everything else, basically, the rules are these three. So summarizing, no vibration, T sound. Vibration, D sound. Ending in T or D, include the syllable for the love of God. For the love of God, include the syllable.
For the love of God.
Yeah, and here's some adjectives just to practice. Repeat after me, adjectives and emotions, okay? Exhausted.
Exhausted.
Stressed.
Stressed.
Surprised.
Surprised.
Scared.
Scared.
Ashamed.
Ashamed.
Embarrassed.
Embarrassed.
Confused.
Confused.
Focused.
Focused.
Empowered.
Empowered.
Satisfied.
Satisfied.
So I have an exercise for you guys. Last week I told you to shoot a film, record yourself reading a 1 minute or 2 minute blog post or something that you found online that interested you. And this time I'm going to make it a little easier for you guys. I am going to provide the text. I am going to post it on the description box, Facebook, YouTube. I'm going to post it to Instagram story so you can screenshot it and do the same exercise. The only way for you to get your pronunciation better is to practice it, to really exercise that. And when you film yourself, you watch yourself again, you film yourself again, you can autocorrect. And the best correction is self-correction, guys. Trust me, the best way is for you to be aware of what you're doing wrong and fix it. Passive learning won't take you to fluency. You need to act on your English. And that is it. That's it. That's what I have for today. I hope MC and all of you guys were able to learn a little bit here or there. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you then next week. Next week we have something special, right, MC?
Of course.
No spoilers. No spoilers. But we got something special for you guys next. Guys, thank you so much for watching, everybody. And we'll see you guys around and next week. Bye, MC.
Bye-bye.